Easy work, Tailor made for Fury. What? Tyson Fury says Anthony Joshua is tailor-made for him, saying that Anthony Joshua is going to get knocked out inside 4 rounds. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, drop your comments in the comment section below, smash that like button as well. Let's do it. Join the KBV boxing community, join the community of KBV boxing community watchers, and let's do it, man. Let's have it. Joshua versus Tyson Fury 2021. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's jump into Tyson Fury's comments. So Tyson Fury was talking on, we have a British show, we call it the Good Morning Britain. Tyson Fury was talking on there, talking about, had his interview with, after Tyson Fury's fight with Pulev. They brought him on the morning show. I think I watched it. Tyson Fury was in his suit. I was like, bro, Tyson Fury's suited up, early morning. But let's jump into Tyson Fury's comments. Let me stop talking about Good Morning Britain. We're talking about boxing. Tyson Fury says, I've always said for a long time that I do believe that Anthony Joshua is tailor-made for someone like my style. It also went on to say, I think this is going to be one of the most explosive, quickest fights you're going to see. I'm aiming to take him out inside 4 rounds. So those are the words of Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury is back on that Deontay Wilder train, talking about you're getting knocked out early, because Tyson Fury was telling us, about Deontay Wilder, saying he's going to drop him, he's going to do that. Everyone said, stop talking rubbish. You're going to get knocked out. If you're on a suicide mission if you jump on trying to put out Deontay Wilder like you're saying. And what did Fury do? He educated pressure on Deontay Wilder and done the business. So I'm not going to say Fury's not going to do it. Hands up in the air right now. I'm not saying Tyson Fury is not going to go in there and do what he said. Everybody mocked him, mocked John Fury, thought they're just talking absolute garbage, saying they're going to go in there and box. All this stuff doesn't, we're going to go in there and knock you out in 3 rounds. Everyone's like, come on, Tyson, sit down somewhere. We know you're going to go there and do the herky-jerky and box. No. Fury went in there and done the business. 275 pounds, 6'9" Fury, heavier jab, seems to be a lot more powerful. Went there and done the job on Deontay Wilder. Wilder was shocked. So let's not say that Fury can't go in there and do what he said. He's proven that he can. Fury is the guy that shows up for the big event. When he fights guys where he doesn't perceive a threat, these Wallins and all these guys, some of these guys you think are just fringe contenders, that's when Fury tends to have problems. But when he shows up for the Klitschko's, the Deontay, these big night fights, the lights are on, the crowd is there, Fury seems to rise to the occasion. So he has proven that he is capable of rising to the occasion. But do you guys really believe that he's knocking out Anthony Joshua in 4 rounds? I'm very sure the majority of casuals and boxing fans do not believe Tyson Fury is knocking out no Anthony Joshua inside 4 rounds. Because who has he knocked out in 4 rounds before? Because he did say he's going to knock out Deontay Wilder early. He didn't even really stop him. It was late. The towel got thrown in. Obviously, he still stopped him, but the towel still got thrown in, and it wasn't inside 3 rounds, but he still did what we didn't expect him to really do. But before we go on talking about Deontay Wilder, in terms of AJ, let's see what's going to happen, man. We have to wait for this fight to actually get sealed and actually done. There's still a lot of roadblocks. Usyk still, we don't know what's going on with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder's mediation for the trilogy, but obviously Tyson Fury's already setting the tone, talking about Anthony Joshua tailor-made for him. Do you guys believe that Anthony Joshua is tailor-made for Tyson Fury? Because I think there's both things that Fury does that favors AJ, and the things AJ does that favors Tyson Fury, in the sense that Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, look at what he did to Deontay Wilder, that we know is a very athletically gifted. Deontay Wilder that we've seen, he tired Deontay Wilder out. In that rematch, we saw Deontay Wilder get tired in 2-3 rounds. We saw Deontay Wilder, struggling, tired, gasping. He was tired. You could visibly see Deontay Wilder was tired in that fight, man. From the pressure Tyson Fury was putting on him, the way he was leaning on him and everything, Deontay Wilder was tired. And if Tyson Fury exhibits a similar game plan, not totally, but if the lean in, the pressure on the front foot, educated pressure on Anthony Joshua? Are you telling me that Anthony Joshua will not begin to tire from stuff like that? You know, and the worst thing that can happen to Anthony Joshua is to start gassing and tiring against a Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury will start unloading big, heavy. I don't care what, 275 pounds hitting you is gonna be very damaging, especially when you're tired. And if Tyson Fury is able to, tire Anthony Joshua strategically, using his weight, using educated pressure from the get-go, not allowing Joshua to stand and, in the center ring and stuff, like putting the pressure on him, using his height and his reach advantage and his size, Anthony Joshua can start to tire, man. If Tyson Fury is able to elusively, dodge, and slip AJ's shots, leaning back, riding shots and stuff like that, mentally, affecting Anthony Joshua in terms of Anthony Joshua looking like his shots are having no purchase on them, winging shots, they're not really landing, and breaking him down mentally, breaking him down physically in terms of, his gas tank. There's a very good chance Tyson Fury could stop Anthony Joshua. And I don't know if Tyson Fury's talking about 4 rounds. Is that what Tyson Fury's thinking about in the back of his head, in terms of educate pressure to try and wear Joshua down? Because an energetic Anthony Joshua with energy, he's got his gas tank. Joshua with the gas tank is gonna cause Tyson Fury problems. Now, the problems that AJ can cause Tyson Fury is that compared to Deontay Wilder, AJ's got a better balance. AJ's got power in both hands. He's technically more gifted. Combination punches, he's better on the inside than Deontay Wilder in terms of his uppercuts and shots to the body. Evident against Kubrat Pulev. Obviously, Kubrat Pulev is smaller than Tyson Fury, but we also saw with, Vladimir Klitschko, how Joshua can go to the body and just unload the shots, especially when he thinks that he's in, he sees that his opponent is in a bit of trouble, or he feels like he's on the back foot, or he's taking too many jabs. Sometimes he just goes there, unloads, and he seems to have learned, having fought in the Kubrat Pulev fight, how to use educated wise to break down fighters and to unload the shots, not to empty his gas tank when he's trying to unload, because he was able to unload shots and the guys, whether Pulev was still in the fight or not in the fight, or whether he's still he's still about his wits, he was able to bring the fight to Pulev, but at the same time come out when he realizes Pulev is still about his wits, and then educated wise piling on the pressure on Pulev. And that's what he's learned from the Klitschko fights and Andrew Ruiz fights, where he seems to have emptied his gas tank and things like that. So Fury needs to be wary of things like that from Anthony Joshua. Fight on the inside, because we saw what the success Otto Wallin was able to have on Anthony Joshua as a smaller fighter. Could Anthony Joshua have similar success on the inside against Tyson Fury? Possibly. So we just have to wait and see what happens with this one, man. Tyson Fury potentially taking on Anthony Joshua for undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, potentially 2021. Hopefully, there's 2 roadblocks in the way though. Tyson Fury may have to take on Deontay Wilder again. Let's see what happens in their camps. Anthony Joshua probably gonna have to take on Alexander Usyk for the WBO mandatory, unless he decides to vacate the WBO. And then the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight wouldn't be for the undisputed, and that's probably going to take the shine off the fight a little bit. But let's see what happens, man. Does Anthony Joshua want to risk the big money fight with Tyson Fury by taking on Alexander Usyk, which will probably generate less money? Let's see what happens, man. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury? Do you guys want to see, Anthony Joshua take on Usyk? Do you want to see Tyson Fury have a trilogy with Deontay Wilder before Joshua and Fury potentially meet? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, smash that like button with your right hand. Let's have it, man. Let's do it. Roll on 2021. Roll on the undisputed fight. Let's see what happens. Big time heavyweight boxing pending. Let's do it, man. Cool.